Good evening, and welcome to your daily roundup of the latest developments across the United States and Canada. I'm here with the top stories making headlines right now on this November 8, 2025. First, a major breakthrough in cross-border relations. The White House has announced that the United States will immediately restart trade negotiations with Canada, aiming for a comprehensive economic and security deal by the end of the month. This pivotal move comes just hours after Ottawa officially rescinded its digital services tax, a 3% levy on revenues from major tech giants like Google, Amazon, and Meta that had been retroactive to 2022 and was set to begin collections this week. The tax had sparked fierce backlash from Washington, with President Trump labeling it a direct and blatant attack on American innovation during a fiery Truth Social post last Friday that halted talks entirely. Canadian Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne confirmed the reversal today, stating it clears the path for vital progress under the USMCA framework, potentially unlocking billions in smoother trade flows for everything from energy exports to agricultural goods. Officials on both sides, including U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, praised the decision as a pragmatic reset, while Prime Minister Mark Carney addressed a crowd in Ottawa this afternoon, calling it a pragmatic step forward that prioritizes jobs and prosperity for workers on both sides of the border. Negotiators are set to reconvene virtually next week, with hopes of addressing lingering issues like supply chain vulnerabilities exposed by recent global disruptions. Shifting to the tariff front, President Donald Trump issued a stark warning today ahead of a high-stakes Supreme Court decision, stating that any ruling against his administration's sweeping tariff policies would be absolutely devastating for American workers and industries, potentially triggering a Game 2 plan of alternative trade measures. Speaking at a packed rally in Battle Creek, Michigan, home to auto manufacturing hubs hit hard by foreign competition, Trump rallied the crowd of over 5,000 supporters, emphasizing the need to shield U.S. jobs from what he described as unfair foreign dumping. He specifically called out Canadian exports like softwood lumber, dairy products, and aluminum, which face duties up to 50% under the current regime imposed earlier this year via the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA. The president's comments followed Wednesday's oral arguments at the Supreme Court, where justices from across the ideological spectrum expressed deep skepticism about the tariff's legality, questioning whether trade deficits truly qualify as a national emergency under IEEPA. Challengers, including a coalition of U.S. importers and manufacturers, argue the policies exceed executive authority and have already cost American businesses billions in higher costs. Legal experts now predict a ruling by mid-December that could force refunds on over $90 billion collected so far, though Trump hinted at pivoting to statutes like Section 232 for national security tariffs if needed. Canadian Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc responded cautiously from Washington, urging constructive dialogue to avoid further escalation. In economic ripple effects, the ongoing Canadian travel boycott is delivering a punishing blow to California's tourism sector, with fresh data revealing a $25 million plunge in lost revenue for the state just this month, up sharply from earlier estimates. The boycott, which gained steam in February amid frustrations over U.S. tariff hikes, border delays, and retaliatory rhetoric, has slashed Canadian arrivals by 25% year-to-date, according to the latest figures from Statistics Canada and California's tourism economics forecasters. Canadians, who poured $20.5 billion into U.S. travel last year and represent the largest foreign visitor bloc, are redirecting dollars to domestic spots like Banff or even Europe, with surveys showing 48% of planned trips canceled or postponed. In California, the pain is acute. Iconic destinations like Palm Springs, where Canadians drop $300 million annually on golf, spas, and volunteering gigs, report a 30% drop in bookings, prompting the city to erect Palm Springs Loves Canada billboards and offer flash discounts. Statewide, the California Tourism Board launched an emergency PR blitz yesterday in Vancouver, featuring slashed hotel rates, waived surcharges on flights from Toronto and Calgary, and ads highlighting the state's progressive spirit to distance it from federal trade wars. Officials warn that without a rebound, the boycott could jeopardize 15,000 hospitality jobs and contribute to a broader 3.7% dip in international visitors for 2025, exacerbating strains from a cooling global economy. And finally, on a lighter note from the sports world, it's rivalry night on the ice, with Team USA's women's hockey squad clashing against Canada tonight in the electrifying second game of the 2025 Rivalry Series, presented by Discover. Following a thrilling 4-3 overtime win for the U.S. in Thursday's opener at Cleveland's Rocket Arena, where Kendall Coyne Schofield's last-second goal sent the crowd into a frenzy, the stakes couldn't be higher as both teams enter Buffalo's KeyBank Center undefeated in early season play. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. Eastern, broadcast live on NHL Network, with over 18,000 fans expected to pack the arena for this preview of the 2026 Milan-Cortina Olympics. Team USA, coached by Joel Johnson and featuring stars like Hilary Knight with her record-setting 300th career point from the opener, boasts a blistering power play at 85% efficiency. Canada counters with a stingy defense led by goaltender Anne-Renee Desbiens and forward Marie-Philip Poulin, fresh off a hat trick in their last exhibition. This matchup, part of a 4-game series building Olympic momentum, has already sparked continent-wide buzz. Expect edge-of-your-seat action, heated trash talk, and maybe even a post-game handshake that hints at thawing off-ice tensions. That's your in-depth update on the key stories from the US and Canada for November 8th. Stay informed, stay connected. If you found this roundup helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for daily updates straight to your feed, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on today's trade news. What's your take on the digital tax reversal, or who wins tonight's hockey thriller? Thanks for joining me. Good night.